Hello, 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 my people. Good day to you, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Whatever time zone you're listening to this, thank you for tuning in every single day to listen to me on Daily Mind Shift. My name is Michael Ojuola for Mindset Transformation Africa. And in today's episode, I want to talk about spending some time talking to yourself about greatness. This is majorly about affirmations, declarations, and positive confessions. So let me anchor today's episode on this statement. Spend some time talking yourself into greatness today instead of out of it. Spend some time talking yourself into greatness today instead of out of it. Now, pause. Say that out loud. Not really. No, really. I want you to say it out loud. Shout. Not in your head, in your own voice. I will spend some time today talking myself into greatness, not out of it. I want you to say that out loud. Declare it. Feel awkward for a moment. Declare that into the atmosphere. I will spend some time today talking myself into greatness, not out of it. See, if you really get this, it will interrupt your default programming. It will rewire the story you've been telling yourself over time. It might even stop you mid-sentence the next time you say something small, something safe, or something self-sabotaging. Because let's be honest, most of the damage done to our belief system did not come from other people yelling, you can't. It came from us whispering it to ourselves in the darkness of our soul. So today's mind shift is about self-talk. Not the feel-good surface level stuff. No, not just chanting affirmations that you don't believe. No, but this is about learning how to tell the truth to yourself in a way that builds you up, not breaks you. See, you spend more time with your own voice than with anyone else's voice, all right? You speak to yourself while you are brushing your teeth, while you are making a decision, while you are in traffic, while you are laying in bed staring at the ceiling. You speak to yourself, and that voice, that internal narration, it's always working. It is shaping how you interpret your life, how you handle mistakes, how you define success, how you carry your future. So let me ask you a straight question. If someone followed you around all day saying to you the things you say to yourself, would you call that person a friend or an enemy? If someone followed you around all day saying to you the things you say to yourself, would you call that person a friend or an enemy? I want you to ask yourself that question, and I want you to answer sincerely. Would you say they push you forward or they hold you back? Do they encourage your brilliance or remind you of every flaw? Because here's the thing. You don't rise higher than the voice you obey the most. And if that voice is negative, fearful, dismissive, or small, then greatness becomes a theory, not a destination. See, every sentence you speak to yourself is a command, is a program, a script, a seed. Your brain listens, your spirit receives, and your behavior responds. So when you say, I'm not good at that, people like me don't succeed in that space, I probably won't make it, I'm too old, I'm too late. What's the point? See, you are not just commenting. You are coding, you are programming, you are writing a script for your mind to run with. And your life begins to reflect that script. The goal is not to lie to yourself, all right? The goal is to speak what you need to believe until you actually believe it. That is not delusion. That is discipline. That is training your mind to recognize truth that is louder than your traumas. Possibility louder than your fears. Vision that is louder than memory. You are your own narrator. I want you to write a story that is worth living. Do you understand me? You need to write that story. It is your story. See, talking yourself into greatness doesn't mean ignoring your weaknesses. Let's clear this up. Talking yourself into greatness doesn't mean pretending you are flawless. It means you've decided your weakness won't speak louder than your willingness. Willingness to learn, willingness to grow, willingness to try again, willingness to keep growing even when your knees are shaken. We've gotten too used to rehearsing our shortcomings. I've always been bad with money. I never finish what I start. I always mess things up. See, those words becomes your script. It becomes your identity. And after a while, your greatness doesn't have a voice anymore. So How about you flip that today and say to yourself, I'm learning how to manage money better. I've struggled with finishing, but I'm changing that now. Even if I've failed before, I'm showing up stronger this time. You see the difference? Same facts, new framing. Same facts, new framing. That is the power of self-talk. You don't have to lie. You just have to lead the conversation in a way that will make you feel great, in a way that will make you eventually become great. If you repeat a lie long enough, you will believe it. The same goes for truth. The brain doesn't always know the difference between what is true and what is repeated. So repetition becomes a reality, which means you might not feel like you are worthy, you might not feel like you are smart enough, you might not feel like you are destined for more, but if you start saying it again and again and again, your mind will start to align. So I want you to say this today: I am capable. I can figure things out. My past doesn't limit my future. What is ahead of me is bigger than what is behind me. I deserve good things. I have something valuable to offer. Not once, not twice. Repeat it over and over again. Say it until the echo of that belief drowns out every old, stale, worn-out narrative that you've told yourself otherwise. It is not hype. This is hygienic for your mind, mental hygiene, emotional discipline, inner reconditioning. That is what you are doing when you talk yourself into greatness. See, affirmation from other people is beautiful, but it is not sustainable. You cannot live off applause. You can't depend on compliments to carry your confidence. At some point, you have to be the loudest advocate for your life, all right? Nobody else lives inside your head. Nobody else hears the storm of doubts you battle before you show up with a smile. Nobody else knows the depth of what you push through to simply keep showing up. That is why your own voice has to be your most faithful companion. So I want you to say to yourself, I am proud of how I handled that. I'm still growing, and that is enough. Today, I'm going to do what I can with what I've got, and that is powerful. See, let your greatness be fueled from within, not just praised from the outside, because what you say to yourself when nobody is clapping is what makes you consistent when they eventually do. There is already enough outside trying to talk you down. So don't join that crowd. See, let's be real. The world already has enough voice telling you what you cannot do. Why will you now add yours to that list? There is enough rejection, enough competition, enough criticism coming from the outside. You don't need to let it echo inside you. You've got one life, all right? And your thoughts are the steering wheel. So if you keep talking yourself out of your next level, your new path, your bold ideas, then don't blame the world for holding you back. Sometimes the gatekeeper is your own mouth. Sometimes the delay is internal. You want to see change on the outside, then start with the words you are feeding your own mind today. So you have to decide, I will no longer be the loudest obstacle in my own story. Say that to yourself. I will no longer be the loudest obstacle in my own story. You need to create a morning language that sets your day's atmosphere. One of the practical things I want you to try is start your day with a personal declaration. Every day and every way I'm getting better and better. That is a personal declaration that you can start your day with. Before the world has a chance to tell you who you are, speak it over yourself. It doesn't have to be long, but it should be true to the person you are becoming. Something like, I'm showing up today with confidence and clarity. I will not let fear make my decisions today. My energy is focused, my heart is steady, my mind is clear. I'm grateful, growing, and grounded. Say it in the mirror. Say it in the car. Say it while you are brushing your teeth. Say it. All right, say it, because words don't just describe your life. They design it. The way you speak shapes the way you think, and the way you think shapes the way you talk. You don't need to wait until you feel great. Speak towards your greatness. Say this feeling is temporary, but my purpose is steady. I may feel low, but I still carry value. I don't have to feel ready to be ready. Talking yourself into greatness is a decision. It is not a mood, it is a decision. So this is what I want you to give. This is a challenge I'll give you today. Talk to yourself today like the person you are becoming, not the person you have been. Speak to your greatness, not your guilt. Speak to your future, not your fears. Speak to your capability, not just your comfort zone.